Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today we have a very big topic here with Trump's winning the election. We're continuing our talk here of what is this going to mean for you. Last week, what we did was we talked about legal immigration. Now we're going to be talking more about illegal immigration, the deportations, and all of that. This is a very important topic, and we're going to dive into what the agenda is for the Trump administration. Also, we're going to reflect back on what happened previously during the prior Trump administration. We're going to start off by talking about Trump's mass deportation. What does that mean? It's talking about deporting 11 million people back to their home countries. So there's what I would call a spectrum of what could happen. From the most practical approach would be the administration focusing on initially criminals, people who already have deportation and removal order, where they know about individuals who are here and focusing on them and removing them. That's the most practical. That would make the most sense for the administration. What is concerning is that there's also talk of implementing what happened in World War II with the Japanese internment camp, utilizing that law to get the military involved and to do a mass deportation. Even with the wartime law, still it's practically impossible to get rid of 11 million of people at one time. Even if you do 1 million people a year, that's still logistically a very difficult task. You're assuming the countries are going to be willing to take them back. How are you going to get everyone together? But of course, there should be no surprise with the Trump administration. So those are the two spectrums, and that would be the very dark side of what could happen. I'm going to just put the positivity out there. Hopefully that's not going to take place, but we really don't know with this administration. So continue to stay tuned to our live cast to continue to get the update. We don't have control over what he's going to do. So I know it can be very anxiety provoking. Just do what you can do, focusing on if you can get your application out. There's been a lot of complacency with filing immigration applications, thinking that, tomorrow. Well, there's no time for tomorrow anymore. January 20th, Trump's coming into office. So focus on things that you can control. If we look at his last presidency, he didn't do that. You are entitled to due process in the immigration court, so it'd be a violation of due process. And this would be a battle of the courts if he did try to invoke the wartime law. So we're going to see a lot of battling in the courts like we did last time. There also has to be a huge infrastructure built to have a mass deportation. There's simply not enough judges, and it would take a lot of hiring of judges in order to be able to facilitate that as well. The second thing is ending birthright citizenship. So this has also been a big thing that's been talked about. So currently, if you're born in the United States, you are a citizen. Well, he wants to end that through an executive order. I expect that he will put an executive order in place on day one. They're probably getting this ready right now, where if you are not born to a lawful permanent resident or a U.S. citizen, then you wouldn't be able to get citizenship. That is a violation of what's in the Constitution. That will be challenged, but nevertheless, initially, he's probably going to put that in an executive order. Then there's going to be another court battle over that as well. On day one, there's going to be a lot of executive orders coming out, and then I think things will kind of simmer down for a little bit, and then he'll start, taking action on different fronts. Another thing is he will try to end what's called the temporary protected status, otherwise known as TPS. He tried to attack in his last presidency. He'll try to attack it again. That's not going to be easy for him. That'll be another battle in the courts. There's about 16 countries that are in temporary protected status. Hopefully he will not be successful in this administration. He wasn't in the last term. The next thing, if you remember back to his prior presidency, one of the first things that he did was what's called the Muslim ban, preventing people to come in from certain Muslim countries. He also included Venezuela later on, and North Korea as well. That will be challenged like it was again in the courts. He was saying previously that this was due to national security, so there needs to be a good reason for national security. We'll see what happens with that. The other thing that I expect to happen is pushing back refugee resettlement. And I'm going to post in the notes and a very good article that talks about a lot of these different things in Mother Jones, where I got a lot of this information in preparing for this live cast. If you want to go in and deep dive into this. With refugee resettlement, his administration previously was one of the lowest in allowing refugees in. It was was around 11,000 people. With the Biden administration, it was about 100,000. So these are refugees from different countries, where there's some kind of war or calamity going on. So those are the things that we expect with this administration that will happen off the bat when we're talking about non-legal immigration. If you want to know about legal immigration, go back to the first live cast that I did earlier. We'll be posting that this week. This is a continuation of that live cast. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye for now.